Mr Speaker, I'll turn to World Environment Day. This year I ran a speech competition throughout my electorate for school students to write about solutions to plastic pollution. And I'm pleased to say, even though it was a very hard decision, the winning high school student was Kaylee McDonald, who comes from Kirrawee High School. Thank you. Mr Speaker, I rise with pride to congratulate and acknowledge school students within my electorate of Hughes. First, just last Thursday, the 9th of November, Mr Speaker, I was privileged that you visited my electorate as part of your Parliament's In Schools program. Thank you for that. We first visited Hammondville Public School, where we met with the enrichment class 456 Cobalt, then Years 5 and 6 at Jannali East Public School. At both schools, the students were engaged, articulate, interested and interesting. They also enjoyed role-playing the Speaker, the Serjeant-at-Arms and the opportunity to ask us questions, including whether we wanted to be Prime Minister, our favourite songs and the best and worst parts of our respective parliamentary roles. At both schools, Mr Speaker, we held a mock vote to demonstrate how voting works in the Parliament. The topic was important: proposed legislation dealing with the banning of pineapple on pizza. I'm sorry to say, Mr Speaker, that on both occasions I was in the opposition, being a proponent of pineapple on pizzas, so on that particular occasion the ayes had it. Another school that is doing a lot of work educating their students around civics is Heathcote Public School, where I was also privileged to go and speak during the last couple of weeks. Mr Speaker, I'll turn to World Environment Day. This year I ran a speech competition throughout my electorate for school students to write about solutions to plastic pollution. And I'm pleased to say, even though it was a very hard decision, the winning high school student was Kaylee McDonald, who comes from Kirrawee High School. I told Kaylee that I would read out her speech, and I'm going to do that now, Mr Speaker. I do hope that the delivery matches Kaylee's content. It is. Protecting the environment is crucial, since it's where life starts. Neglecting it leads to declining well-being, visible in issues like the climate crisis, endangering life. Ceasing to care for the environment brings consequences such as biodiversity loss, economic harm and global challenges. Our responsibility is to protect the environment as it directly impacts the future. The fate is in our hands. Plastic bags now have been an ongoing issue and have reached their climax. It is estimated we use around 5 trillion plastic bags a year, 160,000 plastic bags a second. This fact, provided by plastic bags used per year, made me beyond shocked and ashamed of the world we live in today. It is time to take action to beat plastic pollution, and Kaylee says this is how. Our local organisation will plan to establish clean-up clubs aimed at removing plastic waste from communities. These clubs will not only clean up plastic, but also provide education on proper plastic recycling and waste reduction. To encourage community participation, the organisation will also offer rewards and recognitions to individuals. Raising awareness about plastic's harmful impact on the environment is essential. Education should cover proper plastic recycling and alternatives. Starting at a young age is also similarly crucial. This ensures a deep understanding of plastic's environmental effects as individuals transition to adulthood. Reducing single-use plastic bags is crucial, with some progress in stores and shops, yet plastic remains pervasive in packaging and daily items like food wrapping. Despite that convenience, single-use plastics persist. To address this, the government should fund research for an affordable, sustainable alternative material to replace plastic. This effort will require international collaboration as the issue affects people globally. I was quite overwhelmed, Deputy Speaker, at the quality of the speeches that were submitted, so I thank everybody, all the school students throughout Hughes who submitted those speeches, and particularly to Kaylee for her winning speech. Finally, Mr Speaker, last week, Hughes Community School, which is in my electorate, it is the only K-12 metropolitan school throughout the state. Lucas Heights Community School launched its First Nations Wellbeing Hub to address the health needs of Indigenous students to promote their academic success. And I do thank my colleague, the Honourable Member for Macarthur, for joining me on that day. And I particularly congratulate Principal Julie Adams, the the Lucas Heights community and all the fantastic students at Lucas Heights Community School for this initiative, providing practical outcomes to address Indigenous youth health and the gap that exists between our Indigenous youth and non-Indigenous youth. So, Mr Speaker, to conclude, I've used my 5 minutes to showcase some of the recent amazing achievements of schools and students within my electorate of Hughes. They are all to be congratulated. Thank you.